Welcome to another episode of Ingrid's World. My name is Ingrid Paris Hicklin. I am the host and executive producer of the television show. On this show, meet Chimere Neal. Chimere is a licensed in psychotherapy where she incorporates art within her practice to help children and adults address trauma using expressive art techniques. Chimere is also the owner of Canvas Dolls, which provides virtual and face-to-face painting classes and do-it-yourself paint kits. Chimere uses art to help others explore their inner creativity and express their feelings and release emotions, all while creating, yes, a beautiful masterpiece. Wow, Chimere, you are amazing. Welcome to Ingrid's World.
I am excited to be here. Thank you.
Well, I always like you to tell us a little bit about yourself, starting with your education and your career.
All right. So again, my name is Chimere Neal, and I bring you greetings from Charlotte, North Carolina. As far as my education, I went to North Carolina A&T State University. I have Aggie pride to the day I die. I also went to Barry University, that is in Miami Shores, Florida, where I received my master's degree in social work. So currently, I am working as a psychotherapist. I've been licensed for a little over 12 years, practicing here in the local area, providing counseling services to individuals, families, couples, and groups. Currently, I do work in several places in private practice. I work in a hospital and I see a couple of group clients as well, and doing the art therapy. So I try to keep as busy as possible.
Wow, busy. I just think you don't sleep because you
That
are,
too.
without question, without question. So how did you get started in painting? Because that's a very interesting.
It is. So I have been doodling or writing. My mother said, I always saw you with a pen or a crayon or a colored pencil all your life. So I have always been into art and creating. And then as I got older, it just kind of blossomed into more. As a psychotherapist, I decided to incorporate art within my practice. I noticed that a lot of people needed assistance or a creative way in order to express their feelings or go deep into some of their trauma. So I decided to say, let me see if art will work within my practice. I started doing art therapy and it's just been great. And then
Wow.
through the art therapy, I decided to start Canvas Dolls to do it recreationally as well. So I'm doing it therapeutically in at Neal Counseling Services and then recreationally at Canvas Dolls.
That's just so important that, you're using art because, and allowing people to create. So let's talk about the therapeutic benefits of painting.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different therapeutic benefits of painting. So you can always use art as a coping skill. So if you're stressed out, if you're dealing with a lot, it is very therapeutic to pick up that paintbrush in order to paint your feelings on that canvas, on that paper, or on that whatever you want to express yourself on, whatever medium or tool you want to use, whatever you make your canvas. It can be a stress reliever.
Hmm.
It can also allow you time for self care, and we definitely need self care.
Wow. So what? So back to with that. So why should we consider painting? You said it's self-care, and
Hmm.
that's
The
why.
coping
Oh,
skills and stress
coping.
reliever. Hmm.
A coping
Hmm.
skill. Okay, so instead of me, I can just tell you what I do. I have a real thing for Ben and Jerry, Cherry Garcia, so it's a lot better. And so what you're saying, get out the canvas and
Hmm.
and start painting.
Yes.
Wow.
So
So
you can feel free to express yourself on a canvas by using different colors. For example, in one of my sessions with a boy, I believe he was about 8 years old, I asked him what color would he utilize to express anger. And he said black. I was thinking more like red or orange, fiery, like I'm on fire. I'm just I'm just really, really angry. And he said, black. And I said, explain yourself. And he said, when I think about black, I think about blacking out when I get angry. So I
Wow.
encouraged him to use only the colors of his feelings on the canvas. He had a hard time verbalizing how he felt, but he had no problem choosing those colors and expressing himself on the canvas. So we had a great time painting, but it was also a therapeutic tool that we use in order to get those feelings out and have a conversation about them. And then I was able to provide him with resources and tools on
Wow.
what to do to manage those feelings.
Wow. Wow. That means so much.
Mhm.
Um, and to imagine, and that's better than me articulating to you, this is how I feel about this particular subject. You're saying, yeah, grab hold of this pain, and
Mhm.
I think it's kind of, let's say, a neutral zone where I'm picking paint up and not really
Mhm.
necessarily talking about this is how this makes me feel. Love it.
Mhm.
How important is that? So
Yes.
yeah. So let's talk about self care. There's a lot of talk about self care, and hearing from a professional like yourself, I like you to define it for us about what is self care, because I hear from somebody, and I'm keeping it 100. Someone told me that they were going shopping because that was self care, and I'm going like, is that really self care? But I don't know. I'm not a therapist, so tell us, what is self care about?
So I'll give you a few examples, but self-care is anything that promotes your emotional and physical well-being. However, you
Anything.
have to be careful with that because if you're doing something routine like shopping or going to get your nails done every 2 weeks or going to get your hair done, that becomes a routine. That's really not taking time out to say, I'm going to breathe. I'm going to use my skills and be mindful. I'm going to take care and concentrate on the things that I need to think about and release that stress. Going to get your nails done can be a part of self care. So I'm not saying that. But when it becomes a routine thing for you, as far as just managing, how you look, that becomes something else. That's just managing those things. You want to do something that makes you feel good, makes you release, allows you to breathe. So self care can look different in many, many ways. It could be taking a walk, it could be painting. And sometimes you don't have time for self care. I hear a lot of parents say, I don't have time for self care. If you can take a 10-minute bath, if
Oh,
you can take a walk while the kids are taking a nap, if someone is there to supervise them. So things like that, that promotes self care, your emotional and physical well being.
I hope that our um, virtual audience is out there taking notes, because I love what you're saying, non routine.
Yes.
Also, because, yes, it can get your nails done, but it's not routine. And I,
It's something that you
yeah.
do every week or every 2 weeks. It can be a form of self care because you're allowing that time to take care of yourself and just to get that massage. If that's what you're doing, that's great. But if you're saying, oh, I have to just get my nails done or it's time for me to get my hair done, and you're really not sitting back, being mindful, and just taking it all in, that's not self care. And with our cars, we take our car to get oil changes to make sure that they maintain themselves. We need to do the same thing for ourselves.
How important, is it that we make time for self care? You know, how important is that?
It's very important, especially, for example, at work. I'm not sure if you ever heard of burnout, but a lot of people, especially social workers and psychotherapists, we can have what's called burnout. If you're going to work, it's that every day, almost like a machine. You're just doing the same thing every day, and you're not taking time to step away from it. If you're not taking time to get a breather or to focus and redirect on something that you like and that you enjoy, that can really cause some emotional damage.
Wow. But I hadn't thought about that. And I like what you're saying, because it's honest. You're saying it can cause emotional damage. Wow.
Mhm.
So now walk us through what you're painting. I mean, I just love what you have
Yes.
there.
So I decided I love flowers. So I wanted, and it makes me happy. So with painting flowers, that's why I chose this. And I'm going to do some touch ups to this painting and add a few other things as well. But with flowers, it just makes me feel happy. And then I can choose whatever colors that I would like, whether it's a spring flower or something in the fall. But I just really like painting and a painting that allows me to choose those different colors. So I'm going to be kind of touching up this painting
I,
today while
l-
talking to you.
I love it. And you know, and it's a happy painting. And when
Yes.
I looked at it, I'm like, oh my goodness! It just, you know, you get emotions when you look at certain pictures,
Hmm.
and that's how I feel when I look at that. It just, you know, it makes me feel hopeful. It's springtime.
Yes.
Yeah. Now you also have websites. Neil Counseling Services. Tell about that.
Yes. So at Neal Counseling Services, we provide individual, family, and group counseling as well as art therapy. So we do that at Neal Counseling Services. And right now we are only providing virtual services.
Wow, wonderful. And
Mhm.
then Canvas Dolls. Tell us about that. That's how I met you.
Yes. So canvas dolls is where we do more recreational painting. So it can be therapeutic because you can utilize it for self care, especially if you're having fun and you're taking a break. It allows you to kind of get your mind off of things because you're concentrating
Yes.
while you're painting. You're paying attention to the brush strokes, and it's just really fun.
And I would
Yeah.
tell you the benefit. You did it for an organization that I'm a member of,
Hmm.
and every time the painting, I put it in my office, and every time I look at that painting, it just I get happy because I can just remember all the laughing that we were doing the
Yes.
painting, and it's kind of like my happy picture.
Yes. We had a good time.
We had a good time. I don't know how you kept us all on focus, but it was a lot of fun. So, my next question is, how did the pandemic impact your work? How did it impact?
So it really impacted in a major way. I'll say with Neil Counseling Services, we did see a lot of people virtually. So we had to change to virtual appointments. So
Wow.
everything shut down, as you know. So we had to maneuver to virtual appointments. But we did see an increase in clients because a lot of people were stressed because of the things that were going on. They were in panic because they were afraid of getting sick or losing loved ones, so they were dealing with grief. So the pandemic really impacted the counseling services. We
Wow.
had a lot of various consumers to come in to inquire and also to get treated.
Well, I have to thank you for doing such wonderful service to our community because
Thank
it
you.
is health professionals, you know, like yourself that has kept us, you know, lifted and addressing our concerns, you know, my goodness.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your service.
Yes.
What influences your paintings? Because I, you know, because that, you know, I don't. How do you figure this picture? What made you, you know, create that painting?
So I just do things that make me happy. So as far as when I paint, I love abstract paintings because it just allows me to do splats and lines and I really don't have to think about it. You know, my mind just kind of wanders and I just get lost in the painting. But
Mm.
sometimes we also take special requests when we paint. So that's fun too because we like to stay on trend. We get special requests and we just pick our paintings based on how we're feeling. And also, it's super fun to keep up with the seasons and the holidays. So,
Ah.
Christmas time, we had a great time doing that. New Year's, we had fun paintings with fireworks. We just had, you know, Valentine, and you know, we're looking to some of the upcoming things. So it's a great time.
Wow. So the thing about it is that it's is it advisable now? Another thing, you know, I had to run this by. What about I received a kit from a person. She
Hmm.
sent me a coloring book.
Yeah.
So is that does that count in terms of self-care? What is that?
Absolutely. So coloring is really, really, really getting popular in the adult community.
Oh,
So coloring or anything you can do to be creative, especially crafts. I'm glad she sent that in the mail to you because that is something that you can do that's easy and fun. You can do it in private. You can also do it with other people. Like when we had our class together, we were able to bring people from all over, stay
yes.
safe in the same room, well, in the Zoom room, that
In his
is,
Zoom
and
room,
just
right?
and bring people together to fellowship. So you can do things in private and you can do things as a group. But coloring is one of those things that I really enjoy as well.
Yeah, because when I received it, and I was like, this is so cute, you know? I was like,
It is
coloring,
cute.
you know, is in little, and all the little, I have colored pencils, and they're all sharpened already, and I'm like, oh, this is cute, you know? So I
I
don't,
definitely want to see your finished product.
I know. Well, I had to be very honest with you. I did open it, but I haven't colored it in
You
yet.
have to do
I
it.
have to do it. I really. So my
It's
next,
about trying new things. Some people think, I haven't picked up a paintbrush or a crayon or a marker since like sixth grade. I hear a lot of adults say that, but just try it. It'll definitely open up some windows for you to be expressive and creative.
I love what you're saying. I really do. And it really, you know, and it goes back. And I like the fact that that's a good way to take care of yourself. Wow. So tell us about your use of social media and your go live events on Facebook, because I found that so interesting.
Yes, so I think with running a business, social media has become a big part of that nowadays. So I
Mm.
decided to do what we call a go live event. So every month I go live on my Facebook page to
Wow.
create some sort of craft. So what I'll do is I create a painting, I'll create an abstract painting, or I'll put a craft together just to allow people to know that you can use what you have in your home to create different products.
That's so cute. That's so good. That's good. And so you're actually live, and then we're painting along with you.
Yes, you
That's
can paint
very
along with
cool.
me. So, of course, we won't be in the same room or in the same Zoom room, but you'll be
But
able
that's
to follow
okay.
my instruction or to look, and then you can paint later on your own. A lot of people look and learn and do it later because you can learn different skills within the class or how to do something, how to make something. You can always go back and watch it if you're unable to watch it live. But it's really fun. Even though I'm sitting talking to the screen, I feel like I'm with people, and then they're
Wow.
commenting along the way. It's fun.
Plus, it's your bubbly personality. You're gonna like, you make it fun. I'm like, oh, I might have to try that so I can smile like that too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. So for those who are watching this show, tell us how we can start painting. How do we get started?
So I think it's just kind of making sure that, first of all, you're not afraid to be afraid. Because with
Mm.
painting, it's something that you just kind of learn over time, and there's no right or wrong, especially with abstract. There's no right or wrong. You're making it for you. So even if you don't like the painting and it's something that you don't want to keep, it doesn't matter. You got those feelings out on the canvas. You were able to just try. Sometimes mistakes are proof that you're trying.
Okay, now that's something that we need to be writing down. So
Yes.
okay, okay, I have my pen out. Say that again, please, Chimere.
Sometimes mistakes can be proof that you're trying.
Oh, yes, that we're trying.
That you're
Okay,
trying. Yes, especially with painting. You may mess up, you may not be able to create the wonderful masterpiece that you had in your mind, but
right.
you're on your way. Those mistakes will teach you what not to do and how to do things in the future.
Oh, exactly right. Exactly
Hmm.
right. So,
I love it.
yeah, and see now that your painting was already quite wonderful, but now
Thank you.
it's like popping.
Yeah, I wanted to make some additional greenery in the background. I love that. I think that I love the color green. It just speaks to growth.
Yes,
So I
yes.
like to use that in majority of my paintings.
Oh, do you really? Oh my
I
goodness.
do.
Yeah, I love the green. And I think green is supposed to be, I was watching fashion, and they say green is the new it color for this year.
Oh,
It's
well, I'm on
green.
board then.
So you're on trend, without
I'm
question.
ready.
You're ready. Oh my gosh. How can we follow your work on Facebook and Instagram?
Yes, on Facebook and Instagram, I am Canvas Dolls. That's CanvasDolls. And I'm also that on Instagram, Facebook, and I just got TikTok, so I'm happy. I'm proud of myself.
You doing TikTok?
I just got TikTok, so I wanted to get into it. I've been seeing it. I've been a little nervous, but I was like, I'm going to do this thing.
Okay, I'm gonna have to find that. Oh my goodness, you're
I
amazing. Okay, now we're convinced you do not sleep. Because I don't know how you do a major app and doing your business and doing counseling. Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
It's hard to manage, but I try my best to make sure that I do what I teach, which is self care. So I make sure that I have that in my routine. I make sure that I lean on my friends and my family when I need to. I let them know when I'm not okay, when I'm having a bad day, or when I'm having trouble, because if not, that can boil over into other emotions and lead to that burnout or lead to that depression. And I want to make sure that I'm using my resources because as therapists, we're still human. We still grieve when someone passes, or we still have bad days.
Right.
You know, we're human. We may have the skills and maybe more equipped with the resources, but we still feel. So I just make sure through all the things that I'm doing with the counseling and with the painting that I utilize the things that I teach.
Wow. So you say you walk the talk.
I
So
try to walk the talk. Yes.
without question, because a lot of times it's good when you can say, hey, this is what's happening to me. This is not a
Hmm.
good day. This is what's going on.
Right.
Wow.
And sometimes it's a great way to relate to my clients. So they come in thinking that I never have a bad day, that I'm always smiling. I do. I do have bad days. I am able to use the stress tolerance, my coping skills, that are all those are all the things that I kind of go over as skills within the counseling, but I teach those things because I utilize them and I find them to be effective.
Wow. You're amazing. How absolutely amazing. And, and I'm hoping we'll have lots of viewers of this show because you're giving us skills that will make us have a better life. And
Absolutely.
so, for your final words, what are your words of inspiration for our viewers?
So my word of inspiration are two things. I guess I would start off with the counseling part. It's okay not to be okay and to utilize your resources and ask for help. If you are afraid to go to counseling or to speak to someone, I encourage you to say, "Hey mom, hey dad, grab a friend, grab a coworker, grab someone that you trust in order to go with you so you don't have to feel alone." When it comes to the painting, my words of encouragement are to do it scared. I know that it can seem intimidating. I know it can be something that you're like, I don't know if I can do this. But remember that sometimes mistakes are proof that you're trying. And I encourage you to pick up that paintbrush, that crayon, that colored pencil, and get started.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you, Chimere, for being on the show. Your interview was absolutely wonderful. This show is dedicated to Annie Wallace. Annie Wallace passed away December 26, 2022. Annie Wallace was an integral part of Ingrid's World television show. She encouraged me to create the TV show, and nearly every recording of Ingrid's World, Annie was present at the television station. Annie worked with television guests, helped me set up the stage, monitored my appearance on the show. Annie was constantly in motion. Her elegant, low-key demeanor told us we were in the presence of excellence. She always had a positive attitude and a can-do-it spirit. Her legacy is that we will continue to demonstrate her kindness and generosity in all that we say and do. Annie was loved, and we are forever grateful for her time with us. Thank you so much for watching Ingrid's World. Goodbye for now, and I love all of you.